The Torah tells us that every 7 years we have a cycle. The Shemitah Maaser cycle, that every year, through 1 through 6, we give Maaser Rishon. And years 2, 3, 1, 2, and 4 and 6, 4 and 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, we have to take off a tenth of our produce and give it to ourselves. We take it to Yerushalaim, Yerushalaim, and we have to eat it there. And if it's too long, too arduous, the food will go bad. We have to be podeh the food on money, take the money to Yerushalaim, Yerushalaim, and spend the money there in the best restaurants we can find in the city, and eat the food there. It's a little bit odd that Hashem expects us, Hashem expects us to go frequent the restaurants in Yerushalaim as if they need the business. It's a little bit odd that Hashem expects us to go and eat our own food there in Yerushalaim. I remember when I was in Shalvim, my friends who lived in Jamaica States and the 5 towns, their parents would come with suitcases of frozen meat for the dorms in Shalvim, but also for their apartment in Yerushalaim. They would bring Pesach with them, bring Sukkot with them. That's what Maaser Sheni is. Hashem expects you to bring your food with you or to save up and buy food here in Yerushalaim. Isn't it a little bit strange though? There's no food here. Why do we have to go eat there? Why do I have to wait until I eat my food? So I found there are 2 answers that pop up in the Rishonim, the Tosafot, Ramban, Sefer HaChinuch, Rabbeinu Yonah. Number 1, it's about you. It's not about the food. Go to Yerushalayim Yerachodesh. Go to the Beit HaMikdash. See the Kohanim dressed in their Bigdei Kavod. See the Shofetim, the Sanhedrin, whose countenance will have an impact on you, an effect on you, an impression on you. I remember when I saw Chacham Vadia from afar. It left an indelible mark on me years ago. Chacham Shalom Cohen, even Rav Shechter, I remember when I was in Shalvim, Rav Shechter would come a couple times. It left an indelible mark on me. And when you go to Yerushalayim Yerachodesh, you go to the Kotel and beyond the Kotel, and you experience the palpable Kiddushah of the Mikdash, it sends you back home a different person. Hashem says everyone needs to take that sabbatical. Everyone needs to take that time to reconnect to the Torah and the mitzvot. You're living on a farm, wherever you are, in whatever yeshuv, not connected to the Torah. You need to take that time, and it's built in. It's built into the budget. It's tax-free. You have to go and spend it on yourself. Well, number 1 is for you. Number 2 is, you're a busy man. You have a family. You can't stop your job every year, 4 years out of 7, to get up and go to Yerushalaim and spend a week eating away. You can't afford that every time. You have to work at your job. So you know what you do? You have a son who's single, and you send him off to Yerushalaim, and he sits and learns in the yeshiva. You have to pay the tuition. Guess what? The room and board comes from this. This is the food that he's going to eat when he's in Yerushalayim HaKodesh. Every family has the rabbi in the family. And he is the one that we sustain. We give him what he needs in order to be our Mikor Mayim Chayim, to be the one who comes to our family events and inspires us and shares the Torah that he's been learning and overflowing from his neshama onto ours. Every family has the rabbi, and arguably, however you're dressed here today, whether you're dressed like me or much less than that, I just do this because I have to pretend like it matters. You know, like for the Talmidim, I would happily wear a polo shirt, it's fine. But everyone who's sitting in front of me has been branded as a yeshiva boy, regardless of whether you look that way or not. And on the outside, you are a yeshiva boy. The whole world looks at you. You went to yeshiva. You should know the answer to this question. And that mimela means that you have to prepare. You have to take the time yourself to go to Yerushalayim. You have to take the time yourself to go and connect to the Torah and the mitzvot. Chacham ben Sion Abba Shaul, Chacham ben Sion was the Rosh Yeshiva of Parat Yosef, not so far from the Kotel. And he said that it's funny. Years 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 are Maaser Sheni for you. Years 3 and 6 are Maaser Ani for the poor. The Torah prioritizes you and your growth, not the Ani. Before you start being a Baal Chesed, you have to first be a Talmid Chacham. Before you become a Baal Chesed, you have to first inspire yourself. You can't say, I'll just give the money to tzedakah and I'll do whatever I want. I'll live a life of bland, lifeless Judaism. First comes your Torah and mitzvot. First comes you. And the money that is set aside has to be prioritized for you. I don't think it's a secret that you're all spending a bucket load of money, a boatload of money to be here. Make the most of it. Someone told me a stat that the most underutilized expense that people make, the biggest investment people make expecting to get the least return is their education. You're spending a lot of money to be learning Torah and getting a degree. Do you come in and try to find every single way to not show up to Seder? Whose shiur do I have to go to sign up for that I don't have to ever show up? And I can just tell him that I'm in a different shiur, and that way he'll give me permission not to come. Who is the easiest grader? Who is the least demanding? I could be in a Rosenzweig's shiur, but 9 hours a day of preparation and chazara, who has the time for that? That's why you're here. L'kach notzarta, to be here, to make that time. It's not that it's the hardest thing, it's that that's why you're here. When else are you going to have the hardest thing? This is the time to invest in yourself and to become a Talmid Chacham. And along those lines, people might show up. Someone might show up and say, a good friend of yours might come and say, hey, there's this thing. And this thing could be anything. It could be an internship, it could be a Shabbaton, it could be a party, it could be an event in yeshiva or out of yeshiva. This thing, it's so exciting, let's go do it. This is what Hashem wants. You have to ask yourself, is this really what Hashem wants? Is this really going to contribute to my Maaser Sheni, to my time in Yerushalaim, Yerakodesh, to my time in the yeshiva, where I'm connected to the Ribbono Shel Olam with every fiber of my being in this room and the Sephardi Beit Midrash? Or no? You have to ask yourself that question. Mimela, if it's not in this room, you have to ask that question. If it's in this room, it's about how you talk in this room. But otherwise, you have to ask that question. Just FYI, the Beit HaMikdash, as holy and majestic as it was not a perfect institution. There were shortcomings, whether it be administratively or of the attendees. You have to be willing to forgive a little bit of slack on our part, where we don't do things perfectly. Instead of writing commentary articles, trashing the yeshiva for whatever it is that we don't do right, I can tell you I've made dozens of proposals throughout the years to the administration, and so many of them have been implemented, if not at least heard. And I find that the best way to get things done and changed that you think have to happen is to talk. Rabbi Cohen, Rabbi Kalinsky, Rabbi Rofe, Rabbi Feit. There are plenty of individuals here who are interested in your growth and making your Yerushalaim experience in yeshiva as productive as possible. Just ask. Hey, there's this thing that we're not doing properly. Can we do it? I don't think that this thing is being done. Maybe I'm missing something. Can you point it out to me? Or maybe help me introduce me to somebody who can do it. This is a yeshiva that has so many different flavors, styles, shapes, and sizes of Torah. Litvish, Hasidish, Sephardi, whatever you want. And of course, if you have to play the Moroccan, Persian, Iraqi, Tunisai card, we can do that too. But we don't have to. Just stereotyping for a second. We don't have to play that card if you don't want to. But it's important to know, to make the most of your time. And to be in the mindset. When I was in Sha'alvim, Rav Nussbacher made it very clear that you're in YU, you're in the Y and the U, 24/7. Your day starts with Shacharit and ends with some studying and learning. But every single moment in the middle is scripted. There's never any downtime. You have Seder at 9 until 12:30, 1, 2:30, whatever program you're in, and then college. And the time in between classes is not just to chill a little bit before you start the next round of the marathon. It's to get your homework done. Very quickly, you're going to be at midterms. Right now, oh yeah, I'll show up, 9:30 breakfast, no big deal. Right? I can do whatever I want right now. And the first week of school also, orientation, and then all the class, the first day of class is all about going through the syllabus, which we wish we didn't have to do. I have to do it because I write on my syllabus all my rules. There are no phones, no computers, no nothing allowed in my classes. And if you don't show up, you basically get a 0. My course is half attendance and half your weekly assignments on Canvas. If you don't show up half the time, it's 75. If you don't do the homework half the time, you get a 50. It's very clear. I make it as clear as possible. That way nobody who can't do it doesn't show up. Shows up. But for some reason, nobody ever listens. And I have to waste my first day of class going through this. And then I see the big dropout afterwards. Don't waste your time, Rabotai. Just because the teacher has to do these procedural things doesn't mean school didn't start yet. You have homework to do, you have assignments to do, you have readings to do, you have textbooks to read. Do it now. Do it on Fridays. Do it on Motzei Shabbat. Do it on Sunday afternoon when there's no school. And that way, when midterms hit you like a truck, you'll be on the other side of the street already. You'll have done it already. You won't have to worry about it. You won't falter. Otherwise, when the midterms and the finals come, the midterms never end. It just starts and it goes until the finals. So then you won't be able to keep your Sidarim properly. Shabbat starts at Sheki'ah and it ends at Seder Kochavim the next day. Our Sidarim are Kodesh Kadashim. 9 to 2:30, 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. or 12 a.m., whatever you do. That's holy time. Just like on Shabbat, there's a mitzvah Tosefet Shabbat. You want to add on to Shabbat? Beautiful. 5 minutes, 1 hour, whatever you want to do, it's a mitzvah. Beautiful. But to be mechalel Shabbat earlier, later than the time that it starts, or earlier than the time that it ends, is karet. The same thing with our Sidarim. Plan in advance that you don't have something that you have to do during night Seder, that you have to study for a final during morning Seder. Spend your time now to make sure that you can make Yerushalaim a meaningful, productive experience and not a train wreck every single semester. And for that, I have to tell you, I have the zechut of living in yeshiva. I'm here all the time. Understandably, there's family for everybody here, either within the state or a few states away. And you're going to want to get out, go home, see your family, see your friends. But Shabbat in yeshiva is me'en olam haba. It is beyond Kodesh Kadashim. And you have to make the most of it. Not just because it's an opportunity to connect to the Torah in a spiritual way, that there's no schedule. In the winter, Shabbat starts at 4 something. The meal is over by 6 something, 7 something. You go to a tish for an hour, and then 8 o'clock until 2:30, the building's open. You can learn whatever you want. That's besides the point. But if you're running around this place like a headless chicken all week long, Seder, Davin, homework, Seder, Shir, homework, class, Seder, homework, whatever it is, every single second, you'll go crazy. You need some time to just relax here. Otherwise, you'll only associate this place with anxiety, with negativity. Whereas if you're able to see that you can bifurcate the experience between the week and Shabbat, you have a much better perspective of being in yeshiva. Finally, one of the impactful things I heard when I was in orientation, when I first started yeshiva, was that you have to find someone that you connect to. You have to find a Rebbe, an Avrech, an older guy, a Mashkiach, a Rosh Yeshiva, somebody whom you can tap into, plug into, and that can be your person to feed you, your nourishment, your neshama. And that type of person doesn't have to be the same person every year, but you have to find and identify those people in your life, in your radius, to be able to latch onto for yourself. So Rabbotai, make the most of your education. Learn up a storm. You have the zechut of being here for several years. Why should you find opportunities to leave here, to run away during the Zman? Make as much as you can. You're in the Y and the U. That's your entire life. There's no time for anything else. Every moment is for yeshiva or for the university. There's no time for anything else. Internships, friends parties, whatever it is. I'm saying kosher parties. There's no time to go to Lakewood for a wedding. If you have to go, you go. But Mimela, if you were sitting in Yerushalaim or Kodesh, in a yeshiva somewhere, would you get on a plane and go to Lakewood for the wedding? No. Would you go home for Shabbat every single week? No. So why is the fact that this is only 18 miles away from home, 40 miles away from home, any different? This is your yeshiva. This is where you're plugged in. And you have to make that clear to yourself and your parents, but in a nice way, especially the Persian ones. I'll write a permission slip for you, don't worry. But it's okay. His father went to YU too, so he understands. But make the most of it, Rabbotai. Hashem gave you the beracha. Don't make it into a klala. Have a great zman, guys. Yom tov.